Okay, if you own a Yamaha PWC, this video is for you, especially if you do your own service. Common symptom is the ski has no top end. It bogs down when you hit the gas, low throttle response, low top end. A lot of people will mistake it for a fuel issue. And not to be confused with like a cavitation issue in the jet pump. So if there's a cavitation issue, if there's a issue in here, your RPMs will spike like a dry blender. So it'll kind of feel like you're in neutral. So RPMs will spike, the engine sounds right, but you're just not moving. That's not what we're talking here, okay? We're talking an engine performance issue. So, very common. I see it all the time. People will check their dipstick. So I've already drained the oil, so I'm just kind of miming it here. I'm not actually doing anything, but they'll unscrew it and they just check their oil real quick and it'll barely register. And they go, oh my God, I need to add oil. So they dump a bunch of oil, get it up to where it's full, and they're like, okay, we're good. Well, you're not good. You might have just made a really big mistake. These engines have what's called a dry sump, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The oil sump is dry until you run the ski. So if you don't run the ski first before checking your oil, it's gonna look like it's out of oil. And then if you add oil to it, it's gonna be way too high, right? So for example, like what we just did, where it showed up here, and then they filled it to full. Well, after they ran it, it'd be clear up to here. So you might say, well, what's the big deal? It's too full of oil, more oil is better. It is definitely not. That's definitely not the case. So, and you can even badly damage the engine. The oil stops the oil pump from working. But just for performance issues, here's what happens. So this is the air filter, and you can see it is just absolutely saturated in oil. So when you overfill it, there's so much oil in it, it pushes oil up into the airbox. You can see in this one, I haven't wiped it out yet. See all that oil? Yeah, really common. I'll see skis, especially Yamahas, come in, and this is the issue with it. Again, yeah, they'll think it's bad gas. They'll, do a tune-up, but then they'll still fill their oil wrong. They'll overfill it. Or they changed the oil and they didn't change the air filter. So, if you happen to have come across this video because you're on the lake and you're in a pinch and you need your ski to just run right this trip, just pull your air filter out. If you can extract a little oil, great. If you can't, oh well. Just run it without the air filter for the rest of your trip and then deal with it. Don't leave it that way. Deal with it when you get back. That'll get you by. So, but yeah, if you're going to service your own skis, or, you should be checking your oil on your own. If you own a set of skis, you should check the damn oil. And if you do, if you make it that far, you should also know how to do it. So you're going to start the ski, let it run for about 30 seconds, let it sit for like 10, pull the dipstick out, wipe it off, and then you're just going to set it in, not screw it in, just set it in there and check it. Make sure you're on a level surface, but you don't need to hook it to water to run it for 30 seconds at a time. I'll usually run it, I don't run it for a minute straight, but I'll run it for 30 seconds. Feel the engine. If the engine's still cool to the touch, I'll run it for 30 more seconds. That's just fine. There's no harm in doing that. But you want to run it long enough that the oil starts to warm and you filled that dry sump full of oil. That's where your oil level's at that point, okay? And again, you don't screw this in. You just set it in, pull it out, and look at it. There you go.